sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what I started today morning, and I was telling you what is the necessity of mathematical modeling. Now, mathematical modeling is nothing but the art of putting any physical system into mathematical equation. Okay, and this transfer function based modeling, so which is the second part of our first chapter. So first part of the first chapter we have seen yesterday. I have forwarded the lecture link to you. So three differences actually I had explained. One is the difference between open loop and closed loop control. One is feed forward and feedback control, and the third one was analog and digital control system differences. And with that, I had explained the very basic things in control system. That is what is uh, input signal, what is set point, what is controller, what is error signal, what is feedback, why we put sensor in the feedback, what is actuating element, what is plant, what is output. So all these are very basic definitions of control system. Now, today's part actually is the second part of this first chapter, and this is related to mathematical modeling. And more than mathematical modeling, it is related to transfer function based modeling. So, transfer function is actually the mathematical representation of system function. Why do we need mathematical modeling? Because if we have the mathematical model with us, we don't have the actual system, but we have its model. Model means nothing but an equation. We can give any input to the equation set and we can check what is the output. So mathematical model helps us in getting the system response for any set of input. So in this first page, so there's a 10-page note. In the first page, the same thing is told that control system study deals with, I'm reading from it, representing the physical elements and devices as mathematical equations, mainly as ordinary differential equation form. So whatever systems we are having in nature, or whatever systems we'll be dealing here will be LTI system, LTI, that is linear time invariant system. And this kind of systems are generally given by ordinary differential equation, or it's called as ODE. So representing any LTI system as ODE equation or ordinary differential equation is actually mathematical modeling. And after we find its mathematical modeling, next what we do is we try to find what is the transfer function. I think this page is visible to you, right? Transfer function based system model.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is, so keep writing the questions. I asked you to keep paper and pen with you. So first question today will be define mathematical modeling. So this is the second part of chapter 1. So first question will be define mathematical modeling, and second question will be define transfer function. So these are questions for around 2-3 marks. You can prepare. Okay. So first question is define mathematical modeling. What is the necessity of mathematical modeling? Second question is define transfer function. So whenever we are representing any linear time invariant system by means of ordinary differential equation set, then what we are doing is, as these are continuous time system, then we are doing is we are taking the Laplace transform of the ordinary differential equation. So first there is a actual system, then comes its mathematical equation, differential equation, and then comes Laplace transform. As soon as we are getting the Laplace transform of ordinary differential equation, we are finding a set of output equation and set of input equation. And whenever we are getting the output by input, that is yx by xs, that is giving us the system transfer function. So what is the definition of transfer function? As you can find in the book, you can find here also. So transfer function is nothing but the ratio of output transform divided by input transform. So whatever is the system output we are obtaining, there is a polynomial for that. In S domain, that is Laplace domain, and whatever input we are giving. So input we can give as a unit step function. Laplace of unit step is 1 by S. We can give a ramp function. Laplace transform of that is 1 by S square, and likewise. So any signal input we are giving, we have to take the Laplace transform of that. So transfer function gives the relationship between the input and output, and hence describes the system. So some properties of transfer functions are, so this is going to be your third question, that what are the properties of transfer function. So I will be sharing all these notes with you. You have to just look at these notes and you have to prepare your answers. So properties of transfer function. Now transfer function is nothing but ys by xs. Ys stands for Laplace transform of output y, that is, and divided by Laplace transform of input x. and ys by xs is generally given as hs, capital H of s. So hs is nothing but our transfer function in Laplace domain. So what is the properties of Laplace transform? So there are 6 7 properties explained here. You can check. I'll just tell you, you can go through all these properties, but I'll tell you exactly what actually we try to find out from Laplace transform. First is the thing we check, what is the denominator polynomial. So if denominator polynomial is suppose s cube plus something of s square plus something of s plus constant. So denominator polynomial is very important in case of a transfer function, and denominator polynomial is called as characteristic equation. And if the denominator polynomial is s cube plus something s square plus something s plus 1, then we say that the whole system is a third order system. So first property in transfer function is we have to check what is the uh, order of the denominator polynomial. That will be the order of the system, that will be the order of the system complexity. So more is the order of the system will be more complex. What is the simplest system? It's a first order system. You know RC circuit. It's a simple resistor capacitor circuit. The capacitor starts through resistor, and the voltage, if you are giving the input as DC, the voltage keeps on building up across capacitor. So this is actually RC circuit. Why it is a first order system? Because this is having only one energy storing element as capacitor. That's why it is called as a first order system. Second order system LCR, why it is called second order? Because there are two energy storing element, inductor and capacitor. That's why it's a second order system. So if you're finding LCR system and its transfer function, you will be finding that denominator equation is s square plus 2 zeta omega n plus omega s square. So whenever I am finding denominator is s square, that means order of the denominator is 2. That means this is a second order equation. So transfer function denominator gives us what is the number of poles. So if there are 2 poles, it's a second order system. If it's a 3 pole system, it's a third order system. That is it. So that is one very important thing, that we can find the order of the system from the denominator equation. We can find the number of poles of the system, and we can find out whether the position of the poles are in the left hand side of S plane or right hand side of S plane. So we have studied all these things many times. That's what I'm telling you, that if you are finding that some system poles are lying in the left side of the S plane, that means the system is perfectly stable. And if even a single pole of the system is in the right side of the S plane, that means system is unstable. So from the transfer function, we check what is the order of the system, how many poles, and whether the poles are in the right side of S plane or left side of S plane. If all the poles are there in the left side of S plane, system is stable. If a single pole is in the right side of the S plane, the system is unstable. Then numerator things, numerator polynomial in the transfer function, that gives us zeros. Okay, so if I'm finding in the numerator there is s minus 5, one factor, that means if you are keeping frequency as 5, the whole transfer function value will become is equal to 0. So what are the zeros? Zeros are the frequencies at which the system transfer function amplitude becomes 0. So you can see all the 6 parameters. So first parameter, it says that transfer function, it is defined as Laplace transform of the output divided by Laplace transform of the input. That is transfer function. What is transfer function assuming is all initial condition is going to be 0. Okay, now what is meant by initial condition? Capacitor is having some charge stored in it. In that case, I am saying that suppose initial voltage in the capacitor is 2 volt, that means capacitor is having an initial condition. Okay, inductor can be storing some kind of energy, so that is the initial condition of the inductor. In transfer function, one very important thing we have to assume that all system initial conditions are 0. So this is actually a negative thing. This is a negative point for transfer function based modeling, which assumes that all initial system conditions are equal to 0, but not every time system initial conditions are equal to 0. So this is kind of a simplified model of the actual system. That is this transfer function based model, which assumes that all initial conditions are 0. Then fourth point, you can say system poles and zeros can be determined from the transfer function. Poles are nothing but denominator polynomial roots. Zeros are nothing but numerator polynomial roots. And zeros are the points where the transfer function becomes 0. Poles are the point where transfer function amplitude becomes infinity. Fifth point is very important. I told you already. Stability of the system can be determined from the characteristic equation. So characteristic equation is nothing but denominator polynomial. So denominator polynomial of Hs what is the order of it, and what is the stability of it, that can be found out from this transfer function. And we have seen in the stability chapter that is Routh-Hurwitz criterion is used to find stability of the system. Sixth point is very important. Transfer function based modeling is applicable only for LTI system, that is linear time invariant system. If the system is nonlinear, if the system is having some time varying kind of a characteristics, in that case it will be difficult for us to find out transfer function of that system. Is it okay so far? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'll be going back to the thing. So that was introduction of transfer function based thing. Next, let us see what are the advantages of transfer function based system modeling. First thing, that we are not considering the initial condition. Whenever we are discarding the initial condition means we are trying to get a kind of a simplified system modeling. So that is the first thing. They are saying that transfer function based system modeling gives us the mathematical model, that is the input output relationship from the system block representation. So second chapter we have done it already. So I will give you some kind of system block and I'll ask you find what is output CS by RS. So somebody call it YS by XS, that is output by input. Somebody call it CS by RS. All these are different representation of transfer function HS. So first point, that is transfer function based model gives us input output relationship. You give a certain kind of input to the system, you can find out what is the output. Second thing is complex integral and differential equations can be converted to very simple algebraic equation by using transfer function. So suppose we'll be solving some numerical. So d2y dx2 plus 5 dy dt plus yt is equal to something of xt plus something of dxt dt. All this big equation which are called as integral differential equation. I'll repeat, integral differential equation. So this very complex integral differential equations can be very easily simplified to a ys by xs model. That is a numerator Laplace divided by denominator Laplace polynomial equation. So the second thing, the very complex system equations can be converted to a very simple algebraic equation. So looking at the system, we should not get scared. Looking at the system model or mathematical model, we should not get scared. So transfer function helps us to get that. Third advantage, if transfer function and system inputs are known, that is very important thing, then we can give any kind of input and we can get the system response. See, it is like a known person and unknown person. So known person means I know what is its transfer function. Known system means I know what is the transfer function of the system. So in that case, we know if we give this kind of input, we are going to get this kind of output. So input output relationship is predictable through this transfer function based system modeling. So this method, that is transfer function based method, is used in impulse response system modeling where input is the impulse system. So not necessary it is impulse response only. You can find step response, you can find ramp response, you can find sinusoidal response if the system transfer function is known to you. Fifth point, system differential or system difference equation. So if it is continuous time system, we find differential equation. If it is discrete time system, as you have seen in DSP and all, okay, in that case we find difference equation. So either it is system differential equation or system difference equation, they can be converted to a transfer function, and we can set the initial condition 0 and transfer functions can be found very easily. So these are some advantages. Last advantage, system model, schematic and state variables can be obtained from transfer function. Yes, so in third chapter we will see that if I give you a transfer function, you can find out what is the state variable model of that, or if I give you a state variable model, you can find transfer function from that. So these are vice versa things. Let us now see towards the end of the page, it is disadvantages of transfer function based system modeling. This is a very important thing. So this will be our fourth question. What is the disadvantages of transfer function based system modeling? First point is it is valid only for LTI system. So if the system is nonlinear and time variant, in that case we cannot find the transfer function, or whatever transfer function we find, it will be erroneous. So transfer function based system is applicable only for linear time invariant system. Second thing, sir, second thing, transfer function based system does not consider initial conditions. We have already told that. Third thing, Transfer function based modeling, it does not give any idea about system state variables. So this part you cannot understand now, because state variables are kind of intricate details, internal details of the system, and transfer function based system is kind of a outer detail. So if I give you a balloon kind of a thing, so you can just tell me the balloon is very big, balloon is having circular shape and all these things, but balloon, inside the balloon, whichever gas is there, you cannot know. हाँ, लेक्चर खत्म कर देगा. Okay, yes. So what is there inside the balloon we don't know. So why am I giving you this example? Because balloon is like the transfer function based modeling. You are looking at the system from outside, and you don't know what is the gas inside the balloon, whether it is hydrogen or it is normal gas or whatever. So that gas, if you want to know, you have to go for a state variable model kind of a thing. So state variable model gives you internal system details, whereas the transfer function based modeling gives you outer overall system details. And last point, transfer function based system model does not speak about how present input propagates through the system. So if you are giving a certain kind of input, at every step, how the input propagates, how the input get changed at every step, that knowledge we cannot get from transfer function based system. So far I have told you only 4 pages or 3 pages. Whatever is there in this 3 pages, just go through it when I share this PDF with you, and try to understand each and every problem, try to understand each and every step. Okay, so I think you are there with me so far. Sridhar, Basavraj, Sridhar, you're with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So another around 10-15 minutes time I will take, and we'll see some numericals on transfer function based system model. Before that, I'd like to tell you what is meant by type, because whenever we are doing some kind of numerical on state, what is that? Steady state error, at that time we are having this fundamentals of type. Is the screen visible to you? Types of transfer
Yes, sir.
function. Okay, so just see 1 by s. What is the type of the system? So this is a transfer function of a system given by 1 by s, and this is not transfer function, actually this is GSHS. So GS is the forward path gain, HS is the feedback gain. So GS multiplied by HS is called open loop transfer function. And whenever I am saying transfer function, it means closed loop transfer function. So GS is the forward path gain, HS is the feedback gain. If you multiply these two, GS into HS, this factor GSHS is called as open loop transfer function. So this is 1 by S. I am giving you GSHS equal to 1 by S. What is the type of the system? Any guess? So just you have to see in the denominator, what is the power of single S? So what is the power of S in the denominator for 1 by S?
So
Answer
one.
me please. It is 1. Okay, so 1 by S, GSHS equal to 1 by S. That means this is a type 1 system. Second GSHS is 1 by S plus 2 and into S plus 3. What is the type of the system?
Square, sir.
1 by S plus 2, S plus 3. If you multiply that, you are going to guess S square plus 5S plus 6. So order of the
Second
system will
order.
be 2. Order of the system will be 2, but type will be 0. Is it understandable? 1 by S plus 2, S plus 3. What is the order of the system? S square plus 5S plus 6. So order will be 2. Order will be the highest order of denominator polynomial. So whatever is the highest order up S, that will be the order. But what is the type? Is there any separate S there?
No,
There is
sir.
no separate S there in 1 by S plus 2, S plus 3. So this 1 by S plus 2, S plus 3 is a type 0 system. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Is it understandable?
Yes,
So
sir. Yes,
1
sir.
by S is type 1 system, because you have to just see what is single S is there. If I give you 1 by S square, what is the type?
So type is 1.
1 by S square, what is the type?
So type is 0 means. So but still we don't have any number numeric which is with the S.
1 by S, what is the type of the system? Type is 1. Why? Because power of denominator S is 1. Understandable? Are
So
you
you
seeing
told
this
S
1 by
square.
S? Are you seeing this
Yes,
1
sir.
by S?
Yes, sir.
What is the power of denominator S? It is 1, right?
1.
So type is 1. If I give you 1 by s square, what is the type of the system?
2,
Type 0,
2. I give you 1 by s cube. What is the type of the system?
3.
3,
3. What is the order of the system? 3.
3.
Understandable? 1 by s square. What is the type and what is order? Type is also 2, order is also 2.
Okay, okay.
Understandable? But if I
Yes, sir.
give you 1 by s into s plus 2, which is not here, okay, just assume 1 by s into s plus 2. What is the type of the system? Type of the system will be 1. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
1 by s into s plus 2. So 1 by s, you have to see a separate s, only s raised to 1. So 1 by s into s plus 2, type will be 1. And what will be the order of the system? If you multiply s into s plus 2, what do you get? S square plus
S
2s.
square plus
What will be the
2s.
order? Order will be 2.
2,
And type will be 1.
1.
Basavaraj, understandable?
Yeah, sir.
Clear? Now I give you 1 by s plus 2 into s plus 3. What is the type?
So type is 1, sir.
1.
Type is 0.
So then,
Because s
sir,
raised to
then
0 is
here,
there.
sir,
There is no separate s in 1 by s plus
so
2 s
1 by
plus 3.
s.
Understandable?
Okay, sir. So for 1 by s, type is 1 because there is nothing that is along with s. There is
Yeah,
single
1
s.
by s, the type is 1, but I'm in the next numerical. 1 by s plus 2 into s plus 3. Just see the screen. Second
S
one.
square.
1 by s plus 2 into 1 by s plus 3.
No, sir. Type is there is not. There is always something which is next to s. So type is 0.
Type is 0. So s raised to 0. Anything raised to 0 is 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you have to see this 1 by s plus 2 s plus 3 as 1 by s raised to 0 into s plus 2 into s plus 3. Now is it understandable?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Whenever there is no separate s देखना है. Okay, when there is no separate s at that time, you have to say it s raised to 0. So type is 0. But if I give you 1 by s into s plus 1,
1
what is
by
the
s
type then?
into
Type
s.
is 1. And
1.
what is the order of the system? Order is 2. So order you get by multiplying the denominator polynomial, and type you get by finding how many separate s is there. Last one,
So
s
then for
plus 1
order
divided by
of
s.
the second example, sir, 1 by s plus 2 into 1 by s plus 3. Order will be 2 or 0, sir.
Order will be
Because
2. Order will be
order will
2.
be 2. Type will be 0.
Type will be 0.
Yes, sir. Sir, but because it is type is 0, we represent the 2 as 0, which is raised to 0. S raised to 0.
There is no relation between type and order.
The, so you told that when the type is 0, we write it as 1 by s raised to 0 plus 2s.
See, you have to see how many s is there. Only s, separate s, not s plus 2, s plus 3. How many
Yes,
s
sir.
is there?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is the s in the 1 by s plus 2, s plus 3? How
0.
many s is there? There is no s. There is no s
No
means there
s.
is 1.
No single
1 means
s.
s raised to 0. So whenever there is no separate s, you have to write that as s raised to 0, because s raised to 0 is equal to 1. And s raised to the power, whatever is there, that is the type of the system. If I give you 1 by s square, what is the type?
Type
1.
is 1.
1 by s square, what is the type?
2, 2.
So 1, sir, because there is nothing. It's a single s with a square.
1 by
So
s square is
order is
order
2.
is 2, type is also 2. है कि नहीं?
हाँ
Yes.
sir, हाँ. तो 1 by s, so 1 by s is type 1, and if 1 by s square is it's only 1 by s square, type is 2, and if
Type is 2, order
s
is
is
also
not
2.
alone, for example, 1 by 2s square is type 0.
1 by
1 by
2s square is type 2.
Yeah.
type 2.
ठीक है, मैं लिख के पोस्ट करता हूं तुमको. ओके, आई विल राइट इट डाउन एंड आई विल पोस्ट इट टू यू. It is not difficult, you will understand. You just see the image I will post today evening, you will understand. I'll post it in the WhatsApp group and I'll write what exactly it is there. Okay, so I'm proceeding further for this thing. The advantages of transfer function based modeling, disadvantages of transfer function based modeling we have done. So this is one numerical we will do today, 1 or 2 numericals we will do today, and these 2 pages I will send you. So just write down page number 11 and 12. We are having 2 numericals. Okay, so these 2 numericals we have to do. Is it visible?
Yes,
The
sir.
circuit
Yes,
is
sir.
visible. Okay, so just see the first circuit, how to write it. Just see the first circuit. Okay, so you have to apply only KVL here. Okay, so just see the equations whether you can understand it or not. So how many resistors you can find? There are 2 resistors. Okay, and there is one inductor, and the current flowing through the circuit is IT. So first write down what is VIT. So VIT is nothing but R1 plus R2 into IT plus 1 by C integration of IT dt. Any trouble understanding this equation? Anybody? Any of you? How to write this loop equation VIT? Hello?
Yeah, sir.
No, sir.
This is understandable, right? You don't have any problem understanding how to write this equation. I think it is very clear.
KVL,
So
bro.
VIT
It's
is the
KVL.
total input applied to it. Voltage across R1 is R1 into IT. Voltage across R2 is R2 into IT. And voltage across capacitor is 1 by C integration of IT dt. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to just take the Laplace transform in both the sides. So whenever I am saying VIT, if you are taking Laplace transform, it will be VIS. Okay. And right side R1 plus R2 into IT. So IT will be IS. And whenever you are writing IS, it will be capital I. So 1 by C will be 1 by C only, and integration. Whenever there is an integration, there will come a 1 by S there. So 1 by CS into IS. So you can see here, you can see my cursor, right?
Yes, sir.
You can see this hand. So this 1 by C has become 1 by CS of IS, and this R1 plus R2 has become R1 plus R2 into IS. So if you are saying this VIT, I am writing VIS, which is here at the denominator. So okay, so denominator is the input voltage equation, R1 plus R2 into IS plus 1 by CS into IS. And at the same time I have defined the output, because you can define the output across capacitor. Here I am defining the output across R2 and C. So what is V output T? V output T is nothing but voltage across capacitor and voltage across resistor. So voltage across resistor is I2 into RT, because there is only one current in the circuit, which is IT. So V output T is equal to IT into R2 plus 1 by C into integration IT dt. So capacitive voltage is given by 1 by C integration of current flowing through it and dt. So VOS, so whenever we are trying to find the transfer function, it will be VOS by VIS. So what is VOS? VOS is nothing but R2 into IS, that is what I have written here, 1 by CS. The S in the denominator comes because of integration. So it is 1 by CS into IS. So this numerator polynomial is nothing but output polynomial, that is VOS. What is input polynomial? This above line VIT, so this becomes VIS. So this is R1 plus R2 IS plus 1 by CS into IS. So IS, all the IS gets cancelled. So what we find is R2 plus 1 by CS divided by R1 plus R2 plus 1 by CS. And if we adjust it, VO by VI should be 1 plus R2 CS, 1 plus R1 plus R2 CS, likewise. So this is a very simple numerical, which is a, can you tell me what is the order of the circuit? What is the order of this transfer function? How can you check the order?
Order is 1, sir.
Order is 1. Thank you. And what is the type of the system?
Type
There is no
also
separate
1, sir.
S. Type is
Yes.
0.
0.
Type is
So then
0.
while
There is no
giving the
separate.
previous time, when I asked in the previous time, when I asked the question, so 1 by 2 S square, 1 by 2 S square. That time you told the type is 2.
1 by 2 S square, because power of S is 2. That's why type is 2.
So but S is not alone, no, sir. So it's with the 2.
S is not alone. Means if you are multiplying S with something, it is okay. But if you are adding something with S, in that case it becomes different. See, can you see this now? This thing S plus 1 divided by S square plus 3S plus 5.
Yes, sir.
What is the type of the system and what is the order of the system? How do you estimate
is
order?
2, sir. Order is 2.
Order is 2. And what is the type? There is no separate S in the denominator. So this is a type 0 system. Is it understandable?
Yeah.
Basavraj?
So separate means S square we do not consider it. S square is
No,
it's alone.
no, एकदम separate S रहना चाहिए. एकदम separate S.
Okay, sir. हाँ, sir.
ये वाला देखो 1 by S plus 2 S plus 3 एकदम separate S है क्या इसमें?
No, sir.
नहीं, sir.
नहीं है. So what is the type of the system? Type of the system is 0. इसमें separate S is there? Yes, separate S is there. What is the power of S? S is 1. So this is a type 1 system. Instead of 1 by s, if I give you 1 by s square, what is the type of the system? Type will be 2.
2. Yes, sir.
Here it will be, here there is no separate s, so type will be
Separate
0.
S.
Here there is no
0.
separate s, type will be 0. अभी समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
मैं
sir.
और 10-12 केसेस लिख के भेजता हूँ, इजीली समझ में आएगा. It's not difficult. Okay, so today the last thing we'll do is you have to, I would ask your concentration more in this. So this is a, can you tell me what is the order of this system? What are the components? One
Order,
resistor, one
order
another
is 2, sir.
resistor, one
1,
inductor,
2.
one
Sir,
capacitor.
2, sir. Order is 2.
Order is 2. Very good, Basavraj. So order is 2 because there are two energy storing element.
Energy storing.
Yes. So one energy storing element is inductor, and another energy storing element is capacitor. So instead of inductor, I can give one capacitor here also. You should be able to solve. Okay. Or I can give two inductor also. You should be able to solve. Okay. Okay, so just see these two diagrams. Is it understandable? So V1T has become V1S, no doubt in this. I1T has become I1S. R1 and R2 remains as R1 and R2. They don't change. Who changes then? L has become LS. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
And C has become 1 by CS. So this fundamentals you will require in network also. That is, if it is inductor, in Laplace domain it is given as LS. L is converted to LS. R remains same. R1, R2 remains R1, R2. And C becomes 1 by CS. V1T becomes V1S. I1T becomes I1S. So who changes? Only inductor changes and capacitor changes. So these are two things you have learned. Two more things is there. If it is integration, in that case, there will come a 1 by S. And if it is differentiation, in that case, it will be multiplied by S. So differentiation in time domain is multiplication by S in Laplace domain. ये सब याद रखो. It will be required in network analysis. So differentiation in time domain is a multiplication by S in Laplace domain, and integration in time domain is division of S in Laplace domain. Okay, so that's why this 1 by C and also 1 by CS has become LS has become. So now this is the circuit. Now the S domain circuit is the circuit we are going to think about. What is the input parameter and what is the output parameter? What is the input to the circuit we are giving? Anybody please respond fast. What is the input given to the system?
I1.
V1S.
V1S.
Okay, this is the input voltage I am giving. So this is I am giving externally. So V1 can be ramp, V1 can be step, V1 can be impulse, anything. So I'm just naming as V1. So V1 is the input system. What is the output of the system?
V2.
V2S.
V2S. So V2S is the output of the system. V1S is the input of the system. So what is transfer function?
V2S
What is the
by
definition of
1S.
transfer function?
V2S by V1S.
Very good. So output will be V2S divided by V1S. We are supposed to find that. समझ में आ रहा है? So this is a numerical. Find system transfer function means what? You are supposed to find out a ratio of V2S by V1S, and what all parameters will be there in that equation. I will show you the equation answer. So this is V21S by V1S. इसमें I दिख रहा है तुमको? What is I? I is current.
Get cancelled.
दिख रहा है इसमें? नहीं दिख रहा है. इसमें V दिख रहा है तुमको?
No, sir.
कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay, so transfer function will be like this. So what is the transfer function? V2 by V1. Why V2? V2 is the output voltage. I am defining it. V1 is the input voltage. V2 by V1 has to be represented in terms of circuit parameters. How many circuit parameters are there in this?
लिख रहे हैं सर,
हाँ?
हम जब भी V2 का इक्वेशन लिखते हैं ना सर, तो we have to take the between the capacitor, जो उसके आगे का सर, that we have to take, and the rest will be considered as zero ना सर, क्योंकि
across the capacitor you have to write voltage across capacitor.
Okay, across capacitor है सर.
वो सब बाद में देखते हैं, but first understand what we are supposed to do.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
understandable that we are supposed to find out the ratio of V2 by V1? Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
करना क्या है वो पहले समझना है, then we will see कैसे करना है. Okay, so if I am giving you some input parameter, if I am giving you some output parameter, you have to understand that first you have to find the ratio of V2 by V1. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now just see, these are the currents. So I1 is one current. So this is the first loop, and this is the second loop, and this is the third loop. So first loop is with R1 and LS. Is it understandable? In the first loop, there is V1, R1 and LS. In the second loop, there is LS, R2 and 1 by CS. In the third loop, there is 1 by Cs and V2. Now check what is the VB equation. So VA and VB, these are the two things I have defined. So what is VB? Is it voltage across capacitor? Understandable?
Yes, sir.
Is it understandable? VB is voltage across capacitor. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is VA?
Voltage across inductors.
Very good. So VB is voltage across capacitor, VA is voltage across inductor. और एक घुमा के मैं बोलता हूं, can you see that inductor and R2 and 1 by CS capacitor, so R2 and 1 by CS, they are in series and this is in parallel with LS. Is it understandable what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
R2 and 1 by CS, so that resistor and capacitor, they are in series, and
Yes,
this
sir.
R2 and 1 by CS series combination is in parallel with LS. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can I say that VA is voltage across inductor? This is correct. And VA is also voltage across R2 and 1 by CS combined. Is it understandable?
R2 and
Or VA is equal to VR2 plus VB. Is it understandable? किसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है? हेलो
so,
चेतन,
सर वो नहीं दिख रहा है सर, मतलब आधा चला गया पेज.
because I have now you'll be able to see this. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so VA voltage you can understand, right? What is VA? VA
Yes,
is
sir.
voltage across inductor.
Voltage across inductor.
Voltage across inductor. That is okay. Understandable, right?
Yes.
Just see the right side. What is the voltage across capacitor?
VB.
VB. What is the voltage across R2? That is called VR2. So we'll call it VR2, right? So three voltages are there. Can you find out? लिख के ले लो. VA is equal to VR2 plus VB. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir. Because हाँ sir.
Is it understandable? VA is equal to VR2 plus VB.
सीरीज में है तो दोनों ऐड हो जाएगा.
All of you have understood it. VA is equal to VR2 plus VB.
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay. Can you understand VB is equal to V2?
VB is equal to
VB is equal to V2. What is VB? Voltage across capacitor. What is V2?
Voltage across resistance R2.
What is V2?
output.
Circuit देखो, circuit देखो.
हाँ sir. VB is equal to V2.
VB is equal to V2. Is it understandable? And VA is equal to VR2 plus VB. ये समझ में आ गया?
VR2 plus VB. हाँ sir. हाँ sir.
Is it understandable? Now just go on checking the equations. So can you see the hand I am showing? Can you see the pointer?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the first equation. VB is equal to V2. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
VB is equal to V2 is equal to actually voltage across capacitor.
Capacitor.
Okay. What is I2? I2 into 1 by CS. So I2 into 1 by CS is nothing but voltage across capacitors. What is the current flowing through the capacitor is I2. And what is the impedance of the capacitor is 1 by CS. So actually VB is equal to I2 into 1 by CS. Is it understandable? VB, what is VB? Capacitive voltage. Capacitive voltage is capacitive impedance into capacitive current. How much is the current through the capacitor? Answer fast. We are losing time. I2. What is the impedance of the capacitor?
1 by CS.
1 by CS. Multiply करोगे तो क्या मिलेगा? Capacitive voltage, right? What is capacitive voltage? You just have told that capacitive voltage is VB. So, this equation समझ में आ रहा है? VB is equal to ये 1 by CS को इधर ले लो. Take the 1 by CS with I2S. So VB is equal to I2S into 1 by CS. So what is I2S? I2S is equal to VB by 1 by CS. Understandable?
Sir.
Understandable? Okay. So ये 1 by CS नीचे है, CS को ऊपर ले लो. So I2S is equal to CS into VB. Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next equation, I2 is equal to CS into V2S, because VB is equal to V2S.
V2
We
is
have
equal
already
to
here. So this is one equation, that is I2S is equal to CS into V2S. Next, go for VA. What is VA? So one thing is VA is equal to VA. This voltage is equal to R2 I2S plus VB. What is current flowing through R2? What is current flowing through R2?
I2.
I2, sir.
I2. Very good. What is current flowing through capacitor? That is also I2. When the same current is flowing through two components, can we say that those two components are in series?
Same voltage.
ठीक है?
Series,
So
yeah.
the same current I2 is flowing through R2 as well as 1 by CS. That means R2 and 1 by CS, these two components are in series, and this series component is in parallel with LS. So whatever is the voltage across LS, that is VA, the same VA voltage will be across R2 and 1 by CS together. So this is what I'm writing here, and this is the most important line, and ये line किसी को समझता नहीं है, that's why they cannot solve this kind of numerical. But there is nothing, only the rule of parallelism. In parallel, voltages are same. That is the only fundamental we are applying here. So what is VA? VA is equal to R2 I2, that means this voltage plus this voltage, which is nothing but VB. Is this equation understandable? VA is equal to R2 I2 plus VB.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, now substitute I2. What is I2? I2 is CS into V2. So substitute I2 as CS into V2. So this is R2 into CS into V2 plus V2S. So you are finding VA. You are finding what is VA. And VA you are supposed to represent in terms of V2. So just check. First, you have represented I2 in terms of V2. Second equation, this VA. So first you have to output equation in terms of V2. Second, this VA is represented in terms of V2. And how did I do that? I wrote VA as VLS. I'm not writing that. I'm writing VA as VR2 plus 1 by CS into I2. Then I have substituted I2. I2 is substituted as CS into VB, or VB into CS into V2. Then I have substituted all these things, taken V2 outside, and VA is equal to V2 into 1 plus R2 CS. Is it understandable, this equation? VA equation, I think it is understandable. Next line, I1. What is I1? Which loop?
First loop, sir.
First
Current with
First loop.
R1 and
Okay.
L.
Very good. First loop. What is I1? So I1 is going and I1 is generating two currents. Apply KCL at VA. What is the incoming current? VA. What is the incoming current?
Current through this
What is the current coming towards the node VA?
I1, sir.
I1. Clear to all of you?
Yes.
Is it clear to all of you? Current coming towards
Yes, sir.
this node VA is I1. What is the outgoing current? How many outgoing currents are there?
So outgoing currents are two, sir. VA.
Two outgoing currents. One current is flowing through R2. Another current is flowing through LS. Is it understandable?
Yes.
So at node VA, there is one incoming current, that is I1, and there are two outgoing currents. What are the two outgoing currents? One current is flowing through LS, another current is flowing through R2. What is the current flowing through R2 is given by I2. How much is the current flowing through LS?
It is divided by the inductance capacity.
Very good. What is the voltage across LS? What is the name of that? As per the circuit, what is the name of the voltage across LS?
Voltage across LS is VA.
VA. VA is the voltage divided by impedance. What do you get by voltage by impedance?
Current.
Current. So can you understand this VA by LS is a current quantity? This is the outgoing current from VA or incoming current to VA?
Incomings.
How can it be incoming? Coming is one. Who is coming in? I1 is coming in because I1 is circular,
Yes.
right? So I1 is coming to R1 and coming to VA, and there are two outgoing currents. One is I2, another is this current through LS. How much is the current through LS? It is nothing but VA by LS. And how much is the current going out? That is nothing but I2. So is this equation understandable? I1 is equal to VA by LS plus I2S.
Yes, sir.
Understandable, right? Now what I have done is, next line, I have substituted VA. What is VA? VA is V2S. Just check karo. VA is V2S into 1 plus R2CS divided by LS. And what is I2S? I2S is nothing but CS into
Yes.
V2S. So ये substitution समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This
Yes,
whole
sir.
substitution is understandable. So first I have found equation of I2S as CS into V2S. Next I have found VA is equal to V2S into 1 plus R2CS. Third line, I am finding the KCL at node BA. Incoming current is I1, outgoing current is I2, and outgoing current is VA by LS. So in there, VA I have substituted as function of V2, and I2 also I have found as function of V2. So just see this I1S and just see this right side equation. And next page, if I go, you'll be finding that I1S is given only by V2S. So it's a relationship between I1S and V2S. So three things you have found out. What is the first thing you have found out? I2S in terms of V2S. Second, you have found VA in terms of V2S. And third, you have found out I1 in terms of V2S. Is it visible?
Yes.
Everything I am finding in terms of V2S. What is V2S?
V2S is the
Output
output
current.
voltage.
Output voltage.
Voltage, sorry.
Okay. So inductor current, circuit current, both the currents you have found in terms of output voltage. This VA voltage, VB voltage, everything you are finding in terms of output voltage. So this is the trick in this numerical. What is this numerical? You are actually modeling a electrical system. So in electrical system model, every system parameter has to be modeled as a function of output parameter. So VB is equal to V2S. That is the first model. I1 and V2S that you have found here. Okay. I2 and V2S that you have found here. VA and V2S that you have found here. So every parameter I1, I2 and VA and VB, all the parameters you are finding in terms of V2S. Finally, V1S is equal to, can you tell me what is V1S equal to? Can anybody? Kirchhoff's law.
Current
V1S is equal to, what is that? How much is the current
I1
flowing through R1?
I1 into R1
Very good.
plus,
Plus LS
plus
into plus VA.
LS into
Plus VA. Can you say that?
plus हाँ sir,
V1S is equal to I1 into R1 plus VA. Can I say that?
VA. VA is the voltage between
VA,
LS.
VA, VA. V1S is equal to I1 into R1 plus VA.
Yes, sir.
Can I
Yes,
say
sir.
that?
VA, we can say VA because it's the
VA.
same
What is
voltage that
VA? What is VA?
voltage
VA is
between
nothing
LS.
but the voltage across LS.
LS.
Is it understandable? The same thing I have written here. Just check. V1S is equal to I1 into R1 plus VA.
And
Understandable?
VA replace.
So I1 we can represent as a function of V2. VA also we can represent as a function of V2. We have done it already.
V1.
Okay. Understandable trick समझ में आ रहा है क्या? क्या करना है?
हाँ sir.
So everything we have to represent in terms of V2. So I1 we have to represent in terms of V2 that we have done here. VA we have already represented in terms of V2. So V1 is a function of V2. So just check. इतना बड़ा सब चीज आया and after that V1 is equal to all these big things multiplied by V2 divided by LS. Now just take this V2 above, keep this V1 below because V2 is the output voltage, V1 is the input voltage, and you will be finding V2 by V1 is equal to LS divided by this big thing. So if you are stopping here in the exam, you will be getting the full marks. So transfer function V2S by V1S is equal to LS into all these things. If you cannot do this factorization, it's okay. If you are leaving it here like this, then also it is sufficient. So just check this line, transfer function. Is it visible, I think? Transfer function V2S by V1S. Okay,
Yes, sir.
what is the type of the system and what is the order of the system?
Sir, multiplication.
Order of the system is 2.
Order is 0 because there is no single S. It is multiplied and added.
Yeah, type is,
order is
that is
0.
type. You are
Type is 0,
confused.
order is 2.
Understandable?
Yes,
So
sir.
order is nothing but the denominator polynomial, whatever is the highest power of S, that is order. Okay.
Order
And
2.
if there is a separate S, there is no separate S. There is a separate S at the numerator. Can you see that? What is numerator? LS. So there is a separate S as the numerator, but we don't consider numerator S for type calculation. Okay, only
instead of that
denominator.
instead of that R1 which is downside, instead of that, if S was there, type would have been 1.
Instead of R1, if there was, suppose, this is correct. If R1 was 0, just understand this. If R1 was 0, then the third term is absent, right?
Yes.
If R1 is 0, समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं? ये इक्वेशन देखो, ये इक्वेशन R1 0 है सपोज, अंडरस्टैंडेबल. देन ओनली दीज टू टर्म्स, ये दो टर्म में से क्या कॉमन ले सकते हो? You can take S common.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That S will get cancelled with this S.
Yes, sir.
समझ में आ रहा है? In that case, it will be a type 0 order 1 system.
Yes, sir.
लिख के देखो. First write this and then make R1 is equal to 0. As soon as you are making, so now whatever transfer function you are finding here, this is a type 2 order 2 type 0 system. लिख के रखो, order 2 type 0 system. And if R1 is 0, at that time this will be order 1 type 0 system. Just write these 2 lines and later on you check. You can take the screenshot of this.
Order 1 type 0, sir. Order 1 will be type 0.
Order 1 type 0.
Yes, so one SS will be cancelled and again S if you multiply it,
yes,
single
yes.
S will be remain.
So itna likh ke rakho. This transfer function is a order 2 type 0 system, and if R1 is equal to 0, it will be a order 1 and type 0 system.
Type 0.
Is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Then I can ask you to find transfer admittance. Transfer admittance is nothing but output current by input voltage. So I2S by V1S. Now I2 and V1 both you have represented in terms of V2. So I2S and V1S, all those V2 will get cancelled and you'll be finding something like this. See, these are not big things. Finding transfer function and all these things are not big things. What are big things? Big things is you have to represent I1, I2, VA and VB in terms of V2S. इतना अगर करने को आता है तुमको, you know how to do this numerically. Okay, so I stop here.
सर हम जब करंट थ्रू सर 1 सेकंड द पीडीएफ आप ये कर सकते हैं सर, बट
ओके, जस्ट 1 मिनट.
हाँ तो सर जब हम कभी भी करंट एक व्हेन वी कंसीडर लूप 1 I1 का लूप 1, we are trying to find equation for V1
yes,
and it is
yes.
it will be R1 into I1.
Yes.
हाँ सर, तो हम
R1 into I1 plus VA.
Plus VA we have to represent it. It is a VA हम जब represent करते रहते सर, तो we divide it by, मतलब सर LS VA divided by LS is equal to the current flowing through it.
Yes.
VA
but why do you not current? Listen. There is a certain flow. This is this one equation, I1 plus VA by LS plus I2S. This is a KCL equation, right? You are writing this equation and then you are representing all the currents in terms of V2. So all the currents are represented in terms of V2.
Yes, sir. No,
what is
sir,
your doubt exactly?
Sir,
what is your doubt exactly?
We are representing the current. Sir, what do we call LS? It is the capacitance. Okay,
nothing. See, L is inductor. Okay, yes, LS is inductor representing Laplace domain. That's all.
Inductor. Okay, sir.
See, LS, R1, R2, 1 by CS, these are values. These are not going to change. These are constants because this is time invariant system. These are not going to change. Depending on V1, what V1 you give, I1, I2, V2 will keep on changing. So you are supposed to find out just the relationship between them. Okay. So what is the first trick? First trick is V2 is equal to VB. That is the first trick. From there you are supposed to find out I2 in terms of V2. Yes, what is the second trick? Second thing is VA is equal to VR2 plus VB, and VB is nothing but V2. So VA is equal to VR2 plus V2, and VR2 can be represented as R2 into I2. So VA becomes function of V2. That is what is done here. Third thing is V1 also is I1 R1 plus VA, where VA is a function of V2, and we have proved that I1 is also a function of V2. So finally what we find is V1 is function of I1 and VA. I1 is function of V2, VA is also a function of V2. So VA becomes function of V2. From there, this line you get VA is equal to such big thing V2 by LS, and then find V2 by V1. That's all. So
Yes,
you have
sir.
to start from right side and you have to keep on coming back to left side. Every parameter, system parameter, you have to represent in terms of V2. And finally, find what is V2 by V1, that is the system transfer function. That's all. I'll be sharing these details with you. You please go through these two numericals today and you please go through this theory, and that will be enough for this second part of this chapter.